Alright, so there it is, the fridge, the beast. It's a Kenwood, and it started rumbling a few days ago. The freezer side is what's gone, the fridge is okay. And yesterday, the freezer side at the top of the freezer, it wasn't freezing the stuff, it was kind of defrosting, whereas the bottom is still cold. Anyway, let's get started. Okay. The first thing we need to do is open the freezer door. Without doing that, it will be extremely hard to repair the freezer, as you need to access the back of the actual freezer panel over here. Alright, so remember, the first thing to do is open the door. Without opening the door, it's going to be quite challenging to get to that part of the freezer and make the repair. Once you've done that, you need to remove at least these two shelves over here, and you want to get to this little pop-out piece. Behind there is a screw which we'll be unscrewing. Okay, and now we'll move on to the actual new motor itself. I'll just show you that. See what we get. We'll see what we get with it. All right. Right. So here's the motor. Okay. Okay. Not much to it. Just spindle itself. Motor. It's got a bit of weight to it. A little bit of wire. Oh, that was quite uneventful. Oh. In terms of tools, it only needs a couple of screwdrivers, so not a lot of tools needed. Should be straightforward to do, hopefully. Oh, one more thing. This didn't change. So this is supposed to give me the temperature of the freezer. It didn't change, even though the freezer is... Oh, here we go, E4. That's the first time that error has appeared. That's the very first time that's popped up there. But anyway, that's the error code for this problem. So, anyway. Okay. Once the screw's out, pull it forward from here. Okay, let's come out from that side there. Start using the gap when you can. Okay, that's coming loose quite nice. It's come loose at the top there, as you can see. So now I'm going to start using two hands here just to go down and take it out fully. Okay, looks like there's another little connection point there and one there. So it's just where these little arrows are appearing. You'll see them. So there's one there, arrow there, arrow there. Okay, so one arrow there, one arrow there, one arrow here, here, and one here, and sorry, one here and one here. So two at the bottom, two middle, one very top, and one just here. So it's good to start pulling from there. Okay. Okay. Now once this comes off, and the bottom is a bit tricky, just persevere, and don't worry too much about breaking it, you know. But need that gentle strength, you know what I mean? And here is the beast, and if you look at that, that's the problem. So that is what's causing the issue. That's what's gone. So thank God the actual fan itself is alright. You can see the spindle has had its day. That's what's causing the rumbles and the banging and all that lot. Right, so we'll continue now to take this apart. What I'm going to do is, just for safety, I'm going to power this off now at the switch. At least while I deal with these, because this is the next part now. This is electric, and I'm just going to play it safe. Okay, that's powered off now. And we're going to be removing these plugs, but before you do that, take the wires out of these, like wire holder, out of this wire management stuff. Alright, because there's not much play here to work with. The last thing you want to do is damage the actual wire itself. So just remove it first, give yourself that room to work with, and then unplug from there. Alright, I'm going to be using 2 hands to take these out of here. So I can't really film at the same time, but it's straightforward. Out of wire management first, and then out of there second, all of them. Okay, so I've unplugged those. Okay, so just don't forget, take out of the cable management first down the side. Take them out of there first, so you've got the room to open it with, well, to remove it with, and then just take them out of here. Took out this one first, that one second, and this one third. Alright, that's how I did it. And yeah, so that's what it looks like when it's all taken out. You want to have these 3 down to the bottom there. Okay, so we removed all down to the bottom. That one stays there because that's just going around the back to the actual motor itself. So that's quite short, as we've seen in the new one. Now it's time to actually remove this panel itself. Alright, to remove this panel at the back, undo the screw inside here. Alright, and then you're just going to be pushing out of these little side secure things here. One here, one on this side, just to have it pop out at that point. Just have a little look around the rest of it, and I can't see any others. So yeah, it should just be them 2, and I'll confirm once it's been done. Alright. Okay, so yeah, just to confirm, when you're taking out this back panel, it is just a screw in there, and then these push out things on the right here, on the left there. Of course, that's already pushed out, as you can see I've done that. So now I'm just going to pop this out now. Alright. Hoping not to damage anything as I go. Just going to watch these wires. So what I've done there is I did it from the bottom. I've moved them wires out the way with my thumb, just so we can go downwards, because I want to go away from this. Alright. And that's it now. We're out of there. Okay, so now we're going to be working on this part. Alright. I'll pop this down, and the motor is inside there. Just drop the screw. Okay. Alright, so now it's time for blade removal. Alright. Where is the screwdriver? Now, apparently this needs to be popped off this way. It's got to come towards me. See, there's a spring inside here. This spring is keeping the fan attached to the spindle. So I've got to gently try to open this enough, just to pull it off. Okay. I can see this being a bit of a struggle, because I need to retain that bit. That's very annoying. That's a very tight spring.
Old Mexico. I walked alone with a young Mexican girl.
Yeah, it's coming away now. very tight. I understand that. It makes a lot of sense. And it has to be tight, you know, for it to do its job. I know it's going to be hard to get this back on again, but it's what we need to do, isn't it? So that spring is off. That should be the hard part. I say it should be the hard part. That is proper on there, isn't it? Must be glued. It really does seem like it's glued on. Regardless, we'll carry on. Just don't want to break it. Okay, so it just came off. You saw that, didn't you? Oh, that's the oven timer going there. Right, so that's off. We'll move on to the next stage. The next step should be now removing this out of here, getting it ready for the new motor. Look at that. That's gone. Okay. Okay. Removing the housing now. All right. And while I'm doing this, I'm just keeping an eye on what the wires are doing. Let's have a quick look at that first, actually. Bit of water falling out of this. So yeah, this is what the wire's doing here. Comes out the bottom, straight through there. Sellotape. That's actually come off already. Anyway. Right, crack on. Get this off. Let's have a look at the motor itself. Let's get this sorted out. Oh, this is the same size as the screw which was in the bottom of this panel. The second screw that I took out when I was removing this back panel, the screw is tiny. Hey! Give it a squeeze here where my thumb is. Okay. A bit more of a squeeze down here. Just down here, okay? Come on. There we go. Right, it's attached to the front side. There we are. Right. What's this about? There we go. So that pulls out of there. There we go. Let's get the new one in, let's get it going. That fridge is off right now, so I need to get this done. Okay, so that does go back through there. Okay. Tape is like foil. It's a foil tape. I'll try and reuse that. Okay, let's take the wires out of there. And now I've got the motor free. Alright, let's get the new one in there ASAP. And start reconstructing it. Oh, and just so you know, so here's the old one. What's this? Okay, I'm going to take that off, taking that off the old one. Let's take on to the new one. So this is the old one. Okay, have a look at that. As you can see, it's a loose one. Alright, just have a look at the model number. That should be clear enough to read there. There you go, that's a model number for you, okay? Here's the new one I've got. There you go. Hopefully it should be clear enough somewhere to read. There you go. Right, okay, so let's put this on the back. Almost missed this bit. Must be something to help with vibration or something. Okay. Right, and in we go there. Should fit in quite snug. There you go, that's there. Right. Front side. Just give me 1 second. Yeah. Wire, that should do the trick. Let me just check on this bit of wire here before I close it. So make sure it's going through the correct side. And it's looking good. Just put it through. Of course, I'm going to try and give myself as much wire to use on this side. Short interlude here. Back on track. Right, I just want to have this nice and firm, doing what it should be, where it should be, most importantly. Okay. Right, now this. So just as I push this down, as I pushed it down the spindle, I pushed this in. Okay, so putting pressure there, keeping pressure on this little washer type thing, just so it will stay in place in the right position down there. Okay, the little top button, the bottom button, so these two are now affixed in place. Okay. Applying pressure back on this washer. I want that to be in the right spot. Alright, and now securing this front plate down. Nope. Basically now you're just onto the assembly, back onto the assembly, so really you know what to do here, but might as well just go through it with you. Okay, so I'm going to go through here. I'm going to put them in one wire at a time so I'm not damaging anything. Alright, so that's in. There's these two little prongs just here, use that. I'm reusing this because I don't have any of this kind of tape. So very important that it stays in place, of course, and doesn't end up coming through the fan itself at some point. Again, I want to give myself as much wire as possible on this side. Doesn't look like much at all, that, does it? But hopefully it'll do the trick, and we'll see. Right, so I'm going to go and get this put back into the freezer now. Okay, we'll move back onto there. No, I'm not. I'm going to put the fan back onto it first. So let's get that going. Let me just grab that spring. This is quite tight and secure as it is. It's as if it doesn't need this spring really, but I'm sure this spring serves a very important purpose. So that's just going on there quite well, just with my hands at this point. Now I'm going to get past the point here where I can't use my fingers anymore. So just going to keep going as far as I can first with it. You know what, we're pretty much way okay. So if you look at that, that's too low down. Oh, it's not going to spin right. So lifting up, it's not good this, is it? I don't want to put any pressure on this spindle here, so let's just get this spring back off for a second and reposition. Oh god. It's quite worrying. Maybe I'm already killing this spindle. Oh dear. Right, so can't go too far down then. There's something for you to keep a note of. So I'm just going to lift it off. Oh my god, I'm probably just killing this spindle right now. Ridiculous. Right, so that's going to spin freely there. Okay, so when you put this back on, pretty much the top of this plastic fixing of the fan and the spindle should be flush. Alright? There you go. As I push this spring down, I'm pushing on one thumb first, then the other, and just alternating to push it down. And really there, it seems pretty much in the same place it was in when I started. So I'm okay with that. Hope the fan does its job now. Right, okay. Now I'll put it back into the freezer. It pushed in really easily. When you push it in, I recommend to push it in, just put the top in first. So angle it, put the top in first, even though it'll be fine either way. It's easy to do, to push it in. Angle it, put the top in first, and then just push in from the bottom. These clip in really nicely. This screw down here is really shallow, but it's in. Now I'm going to put the wires back in the sides here, get it all plugged in. All right, and then I'll get the front of it on. Okay, so that's plugged back in now. And yeah, this wire coming from the back of the fan, the new motor here, it was a little bit of wire. It is quite tight, feeling that it is quite tight, but it's on there. Looks like it was the same way as it was when it was new. When doing this, put the wires back on to the cable management to about here. After this point, leave it loose, just so you've got some play and some give, so you can plug them in. All right. When you plug them in, plug in the back one over here first. Top back one first, because there's 3 here. Top back one. You can't go wrong. They only go in one way. Alright. So you can't make a mistake. But plug that one in first. Then plug in the new motor. And then plug in this little front one. Alright. So that's them 3 done. Now I'm going to put the front plate on. And go from there. Alright. Okay, pushed it back on. When you push it back on, just secure it, give it a bit of a massage, you know, put it on the right places, push where the arrows are to make sure it's clipped on right, and then just make sure this hole is right. You can see through it, you will see the hole in the back, so you can see if it's aligned or not, and then it will be. I mean, if not, it just needs a bit of a shift upwards, and then that's it. After that, you're on. Screw it in, put this back on top, and then time for the moment of truth, really, isn't it? So I just hope it's not too noisy. That's all I hope. Let's see. Oh. Alright, so that's the new motor in there now. and it's running. I'm just going to take you on the back of the actual fridge here. Have a listen if you can. I'm not sure how well you can hear that there, but it does, you know, it's working. I can hear it whirring away. Yeah, I believe it's doing the job. It did sound quite nice. So anyway, that's it done. Okay, so just what to bear in mind is be careful when you're putting the spindle onto the new fan. Sorry, just be careful when you're putting the fan back onto the new spindle. Don't push it down too far. Beware of cable management here. Make sure you've got enough play to work with. Don't want to cause more damage. Aside from that, the job is straightforward. I recommend you use removing that spring the way I did it. Okay, especially removing it. Removing it is, you know, you don't have to worry, it's already damaged motor, so don't worry about taking it off. Putting it back on, be gentle where you can. And again, make sure when you put that fan back on to the new spindle, it's flush. Don't push it down too far. But yeah, looks like it's doing the job. I'm gonna have to leave this on now and let it do its thing, because it had about a day where it was off yesterday. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'm sure you can do it quite well, nice and easy. Good luck with it. See ya.